Hey guys, my name's AC Williams, starting a channel here for some guitar lessons. This is going to be the first video. It's also going to be a lesson for like first time guitar picker-uppers. If you already have a little bit of music knowledge or anything like that, you've been playing a little bit, this video is probably not for you. You want something a little more advanced. But if you're looking to start playing guitar and you don't know what you're doing, stick around and we'll get you figured out. Also, I realized I was talking kind of quiet after I made this video, so bear with me on that. Hopefully sound quality will get a little better as the videos come along. So stick around, let's learn some guitar. Thanks for stopping by. So anyway, the first thing you need to know is really the names of the strings. And the strings are named after the note that they play open. So this is, I'm playing that string open and that's open. If I was to push down, now those aren't open. Some of those are open because that's a chord, but you know, if you're pushing on the string, it's not open, that's open. Alright, so the name of the string is what note is played when the string is open and also when your guitar is in standard tuning. Okay, so what we're going to do, super easy to remember this, Easter Bunny got dumped at Easter. Yeah, there you go, Easter Bunny got dumped at Easter. Those are the names of the strings, and you start from the bottom and work your way up. So that's your little E, your B string, your G, your D, A, and big E. Okay. So you might have noticed when I was talking about the names of the strings, it seemed like I counted them upside down. I did count them upside down, and there's a reason for that. Anytime you read guitar tabs, the guitar tabs are basically upside down, and the reason that they're upside down is when I'm looking down at my guitar reading these, well, that kind of looks more like, you know, what I'm actually playing. So I've got that little E at the top. Well, I kind of have the little E at the top here. It just looks the same, so it's easier to read those once you get used to it. So you got little E, B, G, D, A, and E, big E, you know. So that's the reason for that, and that'll come in helpful later in the video as well once we start kind of going over a little bit of tablature. So stay tuned. And so those are what we're working with. So Easter Bunny got dumped at Easter. Anyway, the next thing we're going to talk about is the frets. Okay, easy enough. I just told you that's open, right? And so then here, this is this little metal bar that's called a fret. All those are frets. And so the idea is, if I tell you to play on the first fret or whatever fret you're playing on, you put your finger right behind that. So that's the first fret. That's open on the E string, and then I'm playing the first fret on the E string, the big E string. Okay, second fret, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and all the way up, whatever. So that's that. Probably the most boring thing you're ever gonna have to learn about any of this. Easter Bunny got dumped at Easter. All right, little E, big E. Open 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? Alright. So, first thing we're going to do, this first little lesson here, I'm just going to show you basically some little blues licks, or blues riffs that you can, just kind of use to, it's going to help you with your timing, and it's going to help you moving your fingers and stuff, and kind of transitioning and all that kind of thing too. So, transitioning between chords and all of that. So nothing too complicated. All we're going to do on this big E string, we're going to play that open, and you take your pointer finger and you're going to put it on the second fret on the A string. So let's go, Easter Bunny got dumped at. So then there's your A string, and then 1, 2. Alright? Now you're going to play both of those strings together, that big E open and the A on the second. see also if you can play each of those individual notes without any sound that you don't want. Alright, so no sound coming from the other strings. Don't worry about that, because that's got to do with muting and stuff. We'll get to that later. So just play those two strings and make sure you're playing both of them individually. So make sure that one that you're pushing down, you're not just hearing that, but you're getting that too, you know. So play them individually. Make sure you're getting sound out of both of those. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take our ring finger, and you can leave your pointer finger where it's at, or you can take it off and use that, but whatever you do, don't do this crap. You're never going to learn how to play guitar doing this, using one finger all the time. Alright, so alright, you can already hear the blues in that, right? It's good stuff. So all we're doing here, and you can kind of see, I told you, just those two strings, you can see where I'm picking. Alright, so I got my pointer finger on the 2nd fret on the A string. I'm going to take my ring finger, I'm going to put it on the 4th fret on the A string. Okay? And then do the same thing, you know, kind of work your hand out, make sure you're getting sound on both of those strings. Make sure this finger's not too far up and hitting that top string, you know, make sure you want to keep your finger nice and bent. So don't really play it like that, you know. You don't want your fingers laying over. You want to keep your fingers bent and pointed. You're touching, I don't know if you can even see on here, but like, you can't tell. Oh, there you go. My fingers are a little tore up, but you can see where it's not down there where my fingers are rough, it's on the tips. So that's what you're playing with. You know what, that wasn't any good, but anyway, that's what you're doing there. So, and if you do see me doing that, it's because I know what I'm doing. I'll get to that later. It's muting, but we're not worried about muting right now. I just want you picking those two strings. Alright, and then so just go through that a little bit. See if you can transition back and forth between those two, and your thumb on the back of the neck. Don't wrap your hand around. I guess I probably should have gone over like how to push the strings down. Keep your thumb on the back of the neck like that, like it's something you're articulate with. Like you're not just dumb caveman holding on to a piece of wood. It's not a club, you know, you're gonna hit somebody with it. But keep your thumb like that so you can move around as you get better, you know, and you can do scales, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And see, like my thumb's never really, only time I wrap around is if I'm actually playing a note with my thumb or something like that. We're not doing that. So just keep your thumb pressed against the back of the wood like that, and then see if you can transition back and forth between those two notes. The idea, right? Okay. So the next thing I want you to do, that's just one part of that's half of what we're doing. The next thing, super simple. Everything you just did, like I mean everything in your picking hand and everything on this hand, move every single thing down one string. So if I was pushing on the 2nd fret on the A string, now I'm pushing on the 2nd fret on the D string, and I'm picking the A and the D. Alright, A and D on A open and D 2nd, and you're going to go back and forth, D 2nd to D on the 4. Same exact thing. And so as you're doing that, let's do this. We'll play through. We're gonna call this, what do we want to say? We'll call this the chord progression in E. Not actually a chord progression. I don't know why I keep saying that. I say that a couple of times in this video, but it's not a chord progression. It's just basically that part of the song is in the key of E, and we'll go over what keys are as well. We'll do that later in later lessons. But yeah, it's not a chord progression in E. Don't take that phraseology and confuse yourself. So the chord progression in E, we're going to play that 4 times, and then we're going to play the chord progression in A. Don't worry about why I'm calling it that, because that's really not even right, I don't think. Whatever. Anyway, so we're going to go. At least as close to that as you can get, you know. So that's it. Just work on that for a little bit. And that's really all there is to that. And you can do it, there's a couple of ways you can do that. So, you know, you start off, and then you work your way to. Now you can also start off here and work your way down to the next one, which would be a chord progression in what we're calling play it either of those 2 ways, but it's really essentially the same idea. You're just starting on one of these, either this one or this one, and depending on which one you start, you just play through that and then drop down a string. And practice using your pinky like that too. That's a good idea. Get that down. That's the basis for so much different music. There's so many different artists and songs just in general, even artists that aren't rock musicians or blues musicians or anything to do with it, that use stuff like that. You know, everything revolves kind of around the blues, really. So I mean, that's why we're doing that first, you know. So that's basically it, you know. If you want to check out any of my other projects that I'm doing, I got a couple of other channels on here. One of them is just performances, little live acoustic performances that I'll either film for YouTube or I'm in a couple of different bands right now. Well, we're starting up a couple of different bands. Anyway, that's a long story. Anyway, there's going to be footage coming from that too, a lot of that on the way. And that's called A.C. Williams, The Practice Sessions. So go check that channel out. And also, one of the bands that I'm playing with, we just put out an album. Guy's name's Blake Allen Lillard, the singer. And he's great, man. He's incredible. I'll put some links to some of the songs on Spotify down below. And that's it, you know, and you guys maybe let me know what you want to hear in the future. I got one more lesson that I'm going to build off of this one that I'm going to upload probably on the 15th. This should be going up on the 1st, and then I'll have the next one up on the 15th, and that's what I'm going to try to do, is the 1st and 15th of every month to have a new lesson up for this channel. So if you're watching this, you know, let me know what you thought. Let me know if you want to learn, well, what you want to learn. If you want to learn some songs, man, you know. And I'm not gonna give you the spiel about like, subscribe, and share and all that crap. But if you want to learn how to play guitar and you don't know how, you should subscribe. You should get on here and you should subscribe to this channel and interact with me and let me know what you want. I don't care if you share the videos. I don't care if you like them, but comment and subscribe and interact with me and let me know what you want. And man, I'll teach you guys. So let's get it going. All right. Thanks.